What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the entertainment channel, y'all. Thanks for coming through. I'm back with another video today, Monday, June 2nd. We're talking Chicago Cubbies. But before I get started, I want to give a shout out to my niece. Today's her 9th birthday. Happy birthday, Emma Rose. We love you. I love you. It's my goddaughter, first niece. So you know that's always fun going through that first time experience. But shout out to Emma. Happy birthday. But besides Emma's birthday today, got to talk about the Cubbies, y'all. Cubs won 2 of 3 over the Reds. Today's their off day. So we got to do some Chicago Cubs off day updates. So going to talk about this past weekend series against the Reds. Cubs got 2 of 3. And that's kind of leading to a lot of questions now. After taking 2 of 3, Cubs are still first in the NL Central. We're now tied, as of this video, with the New York Mets for first in the entire National League. So a lot of questions going around Chicago, going around all of the league. Are the Cubs the best team in the National League? A lot of the stats definitely say so, but obviously there's always more to the game than just stats. But going to talk about the Cubs, some of the other top teams in the National League. Then going to finish up the video, going to do an MLB Immaculate Grid. If you guys haven't done Immaculate Grids, definitely go on immaculategrid.com. It's a fun game where you get to, do some guessing on players that have played for both teams, different stats like that. Definitely a fun game, so go check it out. But before I even waste any more time, y'all, let's just talk about the Cubbies weekend, man. Cubs versus Reds. Cincinnati Reds were in town. Flew over in from Cincinnati, couple hours, probably a quick flight. I've never flown there, so I wouldn't know. But Cubs took 2 of 3 from the Reds. They dropped game 1 in a pretty much a shutout by Andrew Abbott. He pitched 7 shutout innings for the Reds. Cubs lost 6-2. Game 2, Ben Brown, Brad Keller, Daniel Palencia combined for a 1-hitter for the Cubs. Cubbies won 2-0 in a really pitching duel on Saturday. Then Sunday, man, Cubbies bats, they came alive, 7-3 win. Michael Busch led the way with 3 RBIs. He had a 2-run homer and an RBI single, helping us to get the win. And Jameson Taillon, another solid pitching start, 6 1/3 innings, only gave up 3 hits. 2 earned runs. And let's take a look at some of the highlights, man. We got a quick little video here. Shout out to ESPN. And let's get it. They got in the baby box. We got to get that the boom box. So shout out to ESPN for some of these highlights here. So you see bottom of the 3rd, PCA rips one, man. And he was struggling coming into this series. And they talked about it a lot Saturday. But he did get 2 walks Saturday. Then his bat finally came alive yesterday. He got that first RBI in. Cubbies took the lead 1-0. And PCA speed, man, is unmatched. He stole second, gets out there, and they didn't show it right here. But then Michael Busch comes up, 2-run bomb, and that was right into the wind, y'all. If you know Wrigley, especially yesterday, wind was coming in from the right field. For him to get a hold of that and still send it out was great. And then Dela Cruz, too, with a bomb. And he was catching hella flack. If you guys watched the game on Saturday, Cubbies won 2-0, like I said. One of those runs was on a Dansby Swanson grounder to shortstop, routine grounder. Dela Cruz played back, didn't kind of take an aggressive approach. Dansby beat it out. And the Reds didn't score anyway, but it was a play, all the highlights on Saturday, kind of showing that hustle from Dansby. And then here we go in, with, lost my voice there. With Brazier coming in, picks up that, I don't think you get a save for 4? Yeah, I think you're up 4. You got a save there. Cubbies won 7-3, man, and it was a great series over the weekend. Different games. Saturday, obviously more of a pitching duel. I sat down and watched both. Had a really good time keeping up with the Cubbies this weekend. And just like many of you guys, you probably folded like I did. Got Marquee channel. I got Marquee. I'm watching it now. The weirdest thing, though, I think I talked about last time, too, is they don't have Marquee in the Sony App Store. So it's like the goofiest thing. I got to put it on my iPad, AirPlay the iPad. First world problems for sure, but it'd be a lot easier, Marquee, if you guys just had an app in the Sony store. I'm tired of AirPlaying. Then it glitches a little bit. The app crashes. They got to up the technology. I'm paying $20 a month. Like, let's get it together. But so far, so good. They also do have some other content. So go check out Marquee if you haven't already done so. But back to the Cubbies. You take a look at some of these stats here from yesterday. Solid overall win. I think especially after that first 2 games, we only scored 4 runs below our average. I think we're at, 5.9 or something like that runs per game on the offensive side. But pretty much led the entire way. I don't think there was any moment where I was too worried about the game yesterday. You could see we're up 5-0 before Cincinnati even got 2 runs in. And we were absolutely just killing Martinez, man. It seemed like a lot more balls, a lot more hits could have happened. Nico Hoerner had a couple of shots. A couple of the other Cubs had some hard hits that has got right to the Reds pitching. So 7-3 wasn't bad. Could have been better. But Cubbies now 20 and 11 at home. And they've now won 8 of 10. Like I mentioned, they're first in the NL Central, tied with the New York Mets as of this video for the best record in the National League. So when you take a look at that, are they the best team in the National League? That's kind of probably the next thing. And I made all the notes for this video earlier today, so I'm hoping the stats haven't changed too much because obviously there's been a couple of games. But you take a look here, man. The Cubbies, are they the best team in the National League? That's one thing you could definitely ask. We tied for the best record with the Mets. We've beat the Dodgers. We beat the Padres. We beat all these different teams, the Phillies that have been at the top of the standing. So you got to really look at some of the stats. And right now, as far as our record, 37-22. So like I said, best record in the NL, tied with the Mets, 1 game ahead of the Dodgers and also the Phillies, who we will be playing in about a week and a half. But let's take a look at some of these stats for the Cubs, man. So Cubbies, they're second in batting average as far as a team, 261. Second in total home runs with 80. First in RBIs with 333 as a team. Second in team hits with 536. Second in stolen bases with 76. First in run differential in the NL. I believe it was at like plus 97 last time I checked. And then our starting pitchers, they're second in wins with 37 wins. So you take a look at those stats. Offensively, we're killing it. First or second in almost everything. And a lot of things that matter, batting average, stolen bases, just every statistical category right now, the Cubs seem to be doing it all. But with that being said, I don't know if I'm ready to say they're the best team in the NL just yet. I know our offense has definitely played that way so far. And although we are second in terms of starting pitching wins, overall our pitching has been pretty middle of the pack. So you take a look at the offensive stats. We talked about, second in batting average. Now they're fourth in home runs. They dropped this because there was a couple today. So when I did it, second in home runs with 80. Oh no, this is all. So let's go back to National League. There, I was like, damn, bro, they messed up my stats. So second in home runs, first in RBIs, second in hits, second in stolen bases. That's offensively. Offensively, we all know, I'm sure you're seeing it everywhere. Seiya Suzuki leading in RBIs. PCA right there, second in RBIs. Kyle Tucker up there with batting average and in the middle of the pack with RBIs. The offense seems to be doing it all, but pitching, we're 7th in ERA at 384, 10th in saves with 15. Even though saves, you got to take with a grain of salt because the Cubs offense has been on fire. So we've won a lot of games where we didn't need a save opportunity or didn't qualify for one. We're 8th in quality starts, 10th in strikeouts. So this is out of 15 teams is the only National League. So offensively, we're first and second in almost everything. And then you go to the offensive side, and out of 15 to be 7th in ERA, 10th in saves, 8th in quality starts, 10th in strikeouts, you can see that's really middle to bottom of the pack. And MLB-wise, we're kind of in the same range. We're in the middle, but NL side, falling a little behind. So in terms of being the best team in the National League, I think we've played maybe the best. I think we've, in terms of surprise, we're probably the biggest surprise so far in terms of the offensive output. I mean, we were picked to win the division, but I don't think anybody expected our offense to be this good. And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but I think I still got to give the overall edge to the Dodgers since both their offense and their defense is delivering. Maybe not up to their standards. A lot of these pitchers are hurt. Glasgow's out right now. Ohtani still hasn't pitched this year. I can't think of the guy they brought in from Japan, but he hasn't really panned out so far. Dodgers right now got a bunch of injuries on the pitching side. But you take a look at both their offense and defense, man. First in batting average, so they're ahead of the Cubbies. First in home runs in the National League. Second in RBIs. First in total hits. The only thing they don't do as good as the Cubs is steal bases. But when you're number one in batting average, home runs, RBI, second in RBIs, maybe you don't need to steal as many bases because they're still getting them in. But as far as pitching, still really good on that side too. Third for wins for starters. Second in strikeouts, third in saves. They do have a relatively high ERA, 4.16, but their offense has been able to overcome that. They're leading the league as of today in runs per game at 5.8 runs per game. And second, of course, just like a lot of these other batting categories, the Cubbies right there, 5.78 runs per game. And they were probably a little bit higher than that before this weekend, but obviously getting only 4 runs in 2 games, and yesterday getting 7 kind of got us back up. But those 2 back-to-back games with only 2 runs brought us down. But you got to live with that, man. It's early in the season. We all know Wrigley, very windy right now. It's been cold today. Right now, it's like 80 degrees, but no games today, obviously. And the rest of the last week, it was probably in the 50s, 60s. Night games, probably maybe 50s, 40s, especially down at Wrigley, closer to the lake with all the wind. But I think right now, man, we got to be happy. You got to be excited as a Cubs fan. Maybe we're not currently, or maybe we're not the best team in the NL. And obviously, statistically speaking, we are in a lot of these offensive sides. Pitching, like we all know, needs a ton of help. The bullpen ERA in the month of June, I think we were number one in all of the Major League Baseball. So that's been definitely a surprise. Palencia has been pretty much on fire, what I would say, from the closer position. Dude is electric, hitting 100, 101, pretty much all of the ninth inning. So we'll see if that can continue. And there's rumors right now going around, too, about Aroldis Chapman. So Red Sox not looking too good. I think they're 8 games out of their division already. So there's a lot of talk, too, about Aroldis Chapman being available. And, of course, that name being linked with the Chicago Cubs. Cubs fans, 2016, it was already 9 years ago. Feels like an eternity ago. But Aroldis Chapman brought him in, helped us win the World Series that year. So maybe you get a lot of that same luck. And Cubbies right now, looks like they're all in on this season. Who knows what's going to happen after this year? Obviously, Kyle Tucker extension is the biggest thing being talked about. But right now, I think we got to savor the moment, live in this moment we're in as a team. We got a couple of young guys in Shaw that's been absolutely killing it defensively and doing really good offensively since he got called back up from the minor leagues. You got PCA really having a breakout season, probably along with Seiya Suzuki, like a top 5 MVP candidate right now in the National League. Cade Horton, he's pitching tomorrow. We'll talk about that a little bit. He's 2-0 since being called up. So right now, things kind of clicking on all cylinders for the Cubbies, which you love to see. But most importantly, I think it's kind of what do we have to add? I mean, Ben Brown, been kind of hit or miss. He's really good some games, not so great some others. Cade Horton, he's in like his 5th start or 5th game in the MLB. So we'll see if he's able to, get through the rest of the season. We're only in just the beginning of June. You got to remember, you got all June, all July, all August, a lot of September. So still a lot of time to go. And I think it's going to be important for us to probably try to get at least another good starting pitcher. I think we probably need a lefty, especially because Justin Steele going to be out for the remainder of the season. Shota Imanaga, good news, should be coming back soon. But obviously with that hamstring issue, we don't know if that can, linger or come up again. So I think they got to be going after a lefty arm for the starting rotation. And then I say you just bullpen-wise, you get as much as you can. Right now we have like 5 outfielding prospects that are in the top 50, I believe, in the MLB. Definitely in the top 100. So there's some pieces we can move. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Trade deadline still, I believe, about a month away. Let's see. MLB trade deadline. What day? So the trade deadline, July 31st. We still got almost 2 months. So a lot of time to see what happens. And it's still early, man. It's still very, very early in the MLB season. You see here 37-22. So we're 59 games into the season. You got 162 to go. So we still way more games to play than not to play. But Cubbies 97 run differential and playing good everywhere, man. 20-11 at home, 17-11 away. But I'm excited. Had a really good weekend this past weekend. Cubbies, PCA, Kyle Tucker. If there's one negative thing to worry, Kyle Tucker did jam his finger. Good news is x-rays did come back negative. So Kyle Tucker should be good to go. We're hoping he's probably miss a game or two just to maybe rest them, because if you actually look as well, PCA, Tucker, a lot of these guys have been playing almost every game. So there's kind of that time of the season where maybe get a little bit of a rest. We're playing the Nationals. So they've not the best team, but we can also get some people in there. Ian Happ's back. Seiya's playing. You could give somebody else some time, whether Tucker sits out, PCA maybe sits out a game. Who knows what we'll be looking at, but we'll talk about that. Let me do that real quick. I'll do the preview for the next one. I was going to do the Immaculate Grid, but that's going to get a little confusing. I'm going to have to go back. But Cubs play 2 out of 3. They're going to Nationals now. They're going to Washington, D.C. to play the Nationals. So they're going to be playing tomorrow. Oh, that confused me. I was like, they're going to play them the rest of the year. They just have all their games. So they're going to be playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at Washington, D.C. against the Nationals. All of the games start at 5:45. So let's see. Tomorrow night's game, got Cade Horton going up against Trevor Williams. Cade Horton 2-0, 3.98 ERA. And what has he played so far total? So he got 4 games played, 2-0. The first game he came in, they didn't start him at the beginning. But Cade Horton, man, he's been pretty exciting to watch. I love how fast he pitches. That's one of my favorite things as a viewer, as when I used to play, was just like, let's keep the game moving. I hate standing around. Got to wait there. Pitching clock has obviously helped with that. But Cade Horton, old school, reminds me of an old White Sox, Mark Burley, where they just get the ball, they're on the mound, and they're probably already pitching. They don't need a pitch count at all. But he's 2-0 since coming up. Trevor Williams, 3-5. Cubbies are favored right now to win this game. You see the matchup predictor has them at 57.8% chance to win the game. And right now, they're at -150 money line. Not bad if you want to make some money on the Cubbies. And run total, 9.5. I don't know if it'll get that high. I haven't checked the weather yet. But tomorrow night, Cubbies, 5:45 Central. We'll see what they do this week against the Nationals. Nationals have been playing a lot better of late, winning what? Let's see. They won 4 in a row at one point. So kind of where they're at. They're 3 games under 500, 9 games back behind the New York Mets. So they're not really expected to do much this season. Cubbies should be able to win another series. We got, who do we have in game 2? I didn't even pull up that. We got Matthew Boyd in game 2, and Boyd's been pretty stellar this year, 5-2, 3.08 ERA. And the last game, Colin Rea, Jake Irving. And you see a lot of the stats here for the Cubbies have been good. And even though the offense scores, starters only having, under 4 ERA, and really doing what they need to do. A lot of people question what was going to happen when Justin Steele went down. And then we got way more worried when Imanaga went down. So luckily, Colin Rea, Ben Brown, Cade Horton, Jameson Taillon, Colin Rea, these dudes have been holding down the fort. We'll see if that can continue. I think Cubbies should take another 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of 3 here against the Nationals. And then after the Nationals, who we got this week? Let's take a quick look. Got the Nationals. I hate how they do this schedule like this. Nationals, and then it'll be a fun series this weekend. Detroit, who's one of the top teams this year in all of the MLB at 40-21 with a better record than the Cubbies. Cubbies get to go up against Javi Baez this weekend. Javi Baez, traded him. We got PCA. So 2 badass players. We got probably the better one, the younger one, even though Javi's been playing a killer center field. But this weekend should be a fun one in Detroit. I'm excited to watch those games. Nationals should be some good stuff. But you see Friday, Apple TV. We're locked in. We'll see who's pitching for the Cubbies. But, we'll see. Let me know what you guys think, man. First of all, Red Series, I think PCA shaking up. Got 2 walks on Saturday. Got some hits yesterday. Kyle Tucker, give him some rest time. But Washington, we should be able to take this series, man. We need to win these series. You see, we got Detroit, then Philadelphia. Those are going to be 2 tough battles, 2 series against 2 former Chicago Cubs World Series champions. We're going against Javi Baez this weekend, Kyle Schwarber at the beginning of next week. 2 of my favorite players on that 2016 team. But I'm excited for some Cubbies baseball. Got to take care of business against the Nationals. But then we got 2 great series with the Tigers and the Phillies coming right up, man. And drop a comment, man. Let me know what you guys think about the Cubs. I'm excited for this week. I think PCA right now, one of my favorite players, most electrifying players in MLB. Definitely, in terms of MVP talk, he's got to be up there, not only because of offensive numbers, but defensively, the dude is an absolute tear in center field. He gets to everything. But let me know what you guys think. And now we got to shift over, y'all. We got to get to the fun stuff. Let's get to the Immaculate Grid. All right, let me tap in. So Immaculate Grid, guys, if you've never played this, it's pretty fun. Some of my friends showed me. Shout out to the crew. So what you do here is you got to put a player that's from both teams. So a player that played for Cincinnati and for the Twins. Another one that played for Boston and Cincinnati, then blah, 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 blah. So you get 9 tries. Let's see what we could do here. So Cincinnati and the Twins is maybe Joe Morgan. Who knows? No. Oh, shit. I fucked up. All right. Boop. I'm going to do this one. Adrian Gonzalez. I know he did. Seattle and Boston. I believe Mike Cameron. There we go. Nelson Cruz. Let's go. Twins and Dodgers. See, this one's kind of hard. I don't know if Joe Mauer. Let me think. Let's see. Joe Mauer. No. Or we got to think of a different one. Boston and Red Sox. Oh, I know one. This one's super random. Pookie Reese, baby. Don't ask how I know these guys. I just try my best. All right. Seattle in 30-plus base season. Ichiro, I'm assuming. LA and 30 plus stolen bases. Damn, who steals bases with maybe Mookie? No, G-Bus. All right, I ruined those first 2 tries of the first one. 30 base season. Got to go with Pete Rose. Wow, that was like the worst one I've ever done. Average score. Oh, how do I not know any of these? I'm embarrassed. Most popular. Oh, see, Sonny Gray. That's a good one. Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, seriously. Damn, bro. I'm salty. All right, we tried, y'all. We can't get him right every time. Usually I'm decent. So today, then who else? Jim Thome. I don't remember him being on the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani. That's easy. Mookie Betts. I could have tried that one. So the average score, what? 6.8. What was my score? Rarity score? Is that good? I don't know. All right, 49. We'll take it. We'll take it. Accuracy, player scores. All right, so mine basically sucked. All right, but shout out to Immaculate Grid. We'll be back tomorrow, man. I gotta lock in more for these, but Twins, I'm suppressed right now. I wish they gave me more ideas, low key. Do they have more? Oh, yeah, they do. So many people. All right, whatever. We'll take the loss, but we tried. We'll be back tomorrow with another Immaculate Grid, y'all. Shout out to Ichiro, Nelson Cruz, Mike Cameron, Adrian Gonzalez, and my favorite, Pookie Reese. But thanks for coming out, checking out the video, guys. Cubbies, another big week, y'all. Let's get pumped up, y'all. Make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, hit subscribe, share the video. We're here talking Chicago Cubs baseball, one of the most exciting teams in all of the MLB on the entertainment channel, y'all. You got to tap in if you want to keep up with your Cubbies because we're not going anywhere this season, y'all. We're making a run. I promise, y'all. But remember, go crazy. Don't be lazy. Never do nothing fugazi. Deuces.